Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Traitor Trent. Like I said in my last Traitor Trent video, this series, it's just named Traitor Trent for a bit of fun, like a bit of banter and all that. There's no malice in it. And some numpty said, oh, so I'm a wet wipe if I don't agree with you. No, you're a wet wipe if you get upset by the name of the series. Do you know what I mean? Like, I made it quite clear in that video and this video I'm going to that I don't care whether Trent succeeds or fails. My viewers are split. Some want him to succeed, some want him to bomb, right? What we do with the Traitor Trent series is we look at what they're saying about him in Madrid, basically, what the media is saying about him, what with me being out here in Spain, I'm able to give that insight. And not only that, I have an interest in, how his career goes. I have a genuine interest. We spoke about it for so long, maybe a year before he went to Real Madrid, that now I'm like, right, okay, I want to see what the lad does, right? So if you actually watch this series rather than commenting without listening, you would see that I'm very fair, and sometimes I've defended him and sometimes I said, oh, Jesus, that's a bit stupid, whatever, right? So, you know what I mean? You're a wet wipe if you get offended by the name of the series. That's basically it. So what we're going to do, guys, is obviously following... I'll turn my tablet off. How do I turn it back on? I'm not very good with technology. There we go. It's the top. Obviously, following the victory over Real Madrid, which I didn't get a chance to speak to you about yesterday. I've explained in my morning briefing today why that wasn't possible yesterday. But what I did today was I went to the cafe, as I do in the morning. I was there about 7 this morning, and I reviewed all of yesterday's newspapers in Spain, football dailies. There's four. Four main ones. I reviewed those, yesterday's editions and today's. And obviously, they're not very happy. Very critical of Alonso. Very praising of Liverpool. No snide remarks at Liverpool. Liverpool just too strong, too good. A lot of reporting about their goalkeeper, obviously, for his performance in the game. But basically, the suggestion was that Real Madrid were miles, apart from Liverpool's standards, which is ironic when you think of the few weeks, last few weeks we've had, especially online, where people have been losing the shit and that. But overall, the reporting in Spain has been Liverpool were better. We won the game. The goalkeeper was brilliant. It could have been a lot worse. Alonso, more or less out of his depth, didn't know what to do. And Mbappe, it's not the place for Mbappe, Anfield, etc., etc. But no real, digs at us or playing the victim or anything like that. So, obviously, this video is about Trent Alexander-Arnold, right? Whether you want to call him Traitor Trent or whatever, it doesn't really matter. And there's a few articles about him. What I'm going to do is I'm going to compare an article from Spain, which is this one, which was published today, which was published in Sport. Now, Sport is a pro-Barcelona newspaper. It's important that you know that when we're talking about Real Madrid in it, all right? But even though it's a pro-Barcelona newspaper, they still have a Real Madrid section, just like the Madrid newspapers have Barcelona sections, right? Or pages on those clubs. But you've always got to take that into consideration for bias and little cheap shots and stuff like that. So we're going to look at what Sport have had to say, the Barcelona press, regarding Trent. And then I'm going to take you to, or go over an article that was published in the British media as well, okay, which I think was the Telegraph. Okay, so let me start with this one. So this says behind here, Trent from Golden Boy to outcast. The Red Academy graduate came on in the second half of the match that marked his return home, where he was made to feel like a traitor. Trent. It basically says his mural in Liverpool was vandalised. Anfield is one of those magical stadiums that every football fan should visit at least once in their lifetime. I like reading things like that. Real Madrid have done so almost every year, thanks to their frequent clashes with Liverpool. But this season's trip was among the darkest in recent memory. Not only because of Madrid's poor performance against the Reds, but also due to what Trent Alexander-Arnold endured on his return. At clubs where the sense of belonging still runs deep, his summer departure was seen as a betrayal. Trent was unable to change the game, as Xabi Alonso had hoped, when introducing him alongside Rodrigo. The Basque coach tried to inject confidence into him in the worst possible setting. It was a risky gamble that didn't pay off. Despite the hugs from some teammates after the final whistle and the heartfelt tribute Alexander-Arnold had paid to Jota before kick-off, the word rat scrawled across his vandalised mural has become normalised in Liverpool. As the boos rang out, TV cameras caught one man kissing the Liverpool badge in open defiance. After the match against Villa, Van Dijk was asked whether he'd been in contact with Trent in recent months. His answer was a blunt no. Even McAllister mimicked Trent's old celebration after scoring the goal that condemned Real Madrid. Too many signs all pointing to a collective rejection of a player who has gone from hero to villain in a matter of months. The chants aimed at mocking Alexander-Arnold stood in stark contrast to those dedicated to Steven Gerrard, the man who never wanted to leave for Real Madrid and who publicly criticised Trent for walking away at a time when Liverpool had returned to the elite. Yet even Gerrard himself almost left for Chelsea back in 2005, proof that no figure is as untouchable as some would like to believe. Yeah, but he didn't go though, did he? In fact, Trent himself, in an interview before the clash with Madrid, reaffirmed his identity as a Liverpool fan. None of that matters anymore, despite having given 21 of his 27 years to the club. His desire to explore a new reality at Real Madrid has branded him a traitor. To make matters worse, the mere 165 minutes he has played this season, interrupted by a hamstring injury, have only fueled his critics' fire. And yet he has always conducted himself with diplomacy. A perfect farewell. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love my city, he said when announcing an expected goodbye, one that came not only because of Madrid's offer, but also Liverpool's inability to renew his contract. Trent may have lost out since joining Los Blancos, at least for now, but Slot has also been left without one of his most distinctive weapons, the deliveries and vision of a fullback who had built a telepathic understanding with Salah. It's a fair point. A quality, as Rafa Benitez would say, quality, for sure, he has yet to display in Madrid. They now celebrate his troubled start at Anfield, a place that can stand alongside any great football temple, baffled that one of their own could seek a life elsewhere when the world within should have been enough for anyone. What do you think of that? Let me know what you think of that one, guys, all right? So that was the from Golden Boy to Outcast in sport. Now, Oliver Brown, the chief sports writer for The Telegraph, wrote as follows. It's titled, Trent Alexander-Arnold did not deserve poisonous reception at Anfield. Fullback left to see his chance of a lifetime at Real Madrid, but Liverpool fans treated him as though he had committed high treason. Google Benedict Arnold. You'll never walk alone. It's not so much a motto for Liverpool as a credo, capturing among its many meanings the sense of an inviolable community. I don't like this cunt already. Credo. Inviolable communion between the facts. Just write it in plain English, please. Read it. Sorry. Okay. The sense of an inviolable communion between the fans, players, and everyone associated with the club, as Rafa Benitez would say, club. For sure. Trent Alexander-Arnold stepped in its symbolism, steeped in its symbolism since joining the academy at Melwood, age 6, could be forgiven today for questioning its sincerity. For on his first return to Anfield since winning every conceivable trophy in red, he found himself not so much booed as disowned. Out on the touchline waiting to emerge as a Real Madrid substitute, he must have felt, contrary to what a certain anthem had him believe, very much alone. When his mural outside the stadium was defaced with the words, Adios, El Rata, it seemed to be the action of a couple of moronic malcontents with a dubious grasp of Google Translate. But when he finally emerged in the all-white of Real Madrid, it was not so much a smattering of boos as a cacophony. I've never heard of some of these words. What the fuck's that? CACOPHONY. Fuck, I don't read this paper. Is it definitely the Telegraph, not the Guardian? I need to check. The noise stood in contrast to the chants of Steve Gerrard, as if to remind Alexander Arnold of what it truly meant to be a loyal one-club man. Did it not occur to these supporters that their beloved former captain had tried to force it? He didn't fucking go though, did he? Is that all they've got? Tried to force his way out of Liverpool to join Chelsea in 2005, handed in a transfer request 6 weeks after winning the Champions League title in Istanbul. Give it some context. He said he didn't feel wanted by the club. Do you remember? I remember. Oh, but we can't put the truth in, can we? Alexander Arnold, unlike Gerrard, did not openly express dissatisfaction with the club's progress or talk about his desire to move on or countenance switching to a Premier League rival. No, a European rival. He has spoken merely of an ambition to see how high his ceiling as a player can go, to test himself afresh at the 15-time European champions. It felt like the right step at the right time, he explained. And for this he has been pelted like some medieval miscreant, taunted without mercy for daring to assume that there could be life beyond Liverpool. What these fucking idiots don't get, right, is the people that are upset, and I'm not one of them, right, I couldn't care less. The people that are upset about the way it went, how it was handled, what he did, no fee. Well, unless you want to say 10 million euros or pounds or whatever it is a fee. It's not, plenty of players have left Liverpool. No, I'm not having that. But I still think people wouldn't be too happy if he left Liverpool for Real Madrid. They'd be like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? You're from here. What, you're one of us? Yeah, but at least we've got 70 million for you. That once Trent, now merely rat. Anyway, it's not up to you, me, or some snotty journalist to tell anyone how they feel about anything, right? If some people are genuinely upset about Trent, the way he conducted his exit or what he's done, that's up to them. We don't have to agree with them. We don't have to support them. It's not up to me to tell you, oh no, you can't be upset about that. Some people are really fucking upset. I couldn't care less. Do you know what I mean? But it's not up to a journalist to tell you how you should fucking feel, is it? It is a level of wrath out of all proportion to the supposed transgression. Even today, it is difficult to fathom what Alexander Arnold has done to deserve such pillorying. He has given 21 of his 27 years to Liverpool. He has never spoken ill of the club in public, and he struck a carefully conciliatory tone after May's title parade by telling fans, perfect send-off, thank you from the bottom of my heart, I love my city. Diplomatic enough. Not for the fundamentalists who just 6 months later have treated him as if he's just committed high treason. Peter Schmeichel, who gives a fuck what that red-nosed twat mank scum fuck thinks? Sorry, I can't be impartial. I don't dislike him, but at the time I couldn't stand him, which is a compliment, really. But in terms of rivalry, I've stood behind that goal before and seen that Rudolph motherfucker, you know, running his mouth. Yeah, shit house. I couldn't stand Schmeichel. Or that Mark Hughes years ago. And that Paul Ince twat as well. I know when he came to Liverpool, I was baffled. Baffled by him. Anyway, right, what else we got? I've missed me thing. Right. Peter Schmeichel, the former Manchester United goalkeeper, did not sugar the pill. I find it annoying, disgusting in a way, he said. He's won every trophy and given them 20 years of his career. He should be welcomed back as a hero. Never could Alexander Arnold have thought that he would fall out of Liverpool's embrace with such brutal haste. In 2019, it was his short corner that set up Divock Origi and helped propel Liverpool to that 4-0 victory over Barcelona. The final flourish on the greatest European night ever witnessed at Anfield. 6 years later, all this has seemingly been forgotten. All that matters in the eyes of his myopic detractors is that he has had the temerity to leave. Once Trent, now merely rat. Imagine talking about, you were loved what? It's like if you split up with your bird, innit? Or your boyfriend or something. You know, what are you blowing me out for? You know, you beat me up. Well, yeah, but, you know, I looked after you a few years ago. We liked each other then. Silly. At the time, his transfer saga felt like a binary debate. Swapping Liverpool for Real was either a betrayal or an affirmation of a young man's prerogative to choose. But his poisonous reception at Anfield should not be a subject for debate at all, says a man writing an article about it. Alexander-Arnold has been guilty of nothing more than taking the chance of a lifetime. Challenging himself at one of the very few clubs who can claim to be bigger than Liverpool. The fans who traduce him on that basis are not acting out of high principle, but out of the most small-minded and parochial, mindset imaginable. I don't understand half of these words. Fuck me, I hope he doesn't write anything else ever again. I need to know which paper he's writing for, because I might have made a mistake. Let me have a look. Web search, I think it's Telegraph. Telegraph. Oliver Brown is the chief spot. No, Oliver Brown is... Oh, do you know what I mean? What's that all about? What? I'm trying to get... There's a notification on my phone. Give me... Oh, no. Fabrizio Romano. Okay, now look at all these notifications. Right. There we go. So there you go. I think it's up to people to treat the situation as they want. Yeah, we call it Traitor Trent. It's a fucking giggle, right? My viewers on here say, call it Traitor Trent, it'll wind a few people up. And it does, right? It does. But I swear down, guys, I really don't care if he's a success or not. So, sometimes I think to myself, I hope it bombs, right? As I would any Liverpool player leaving. Even Alonso, when he went, we all loved Alonso. But I don't want any player to leave and be successful. I want them to leave and go, oh, that was a mistake. It's just like football, passion and rivalry, innit? Principle, innit? That's all, So, but sometimes I think, I don't know. I'm not really bothered. If he's a success at Real Madrid, maybe they're doing better than Liverpool. So do I really want to support that? But I don't wish the lad any harm. I've defended him loads of times. Said, look, he wants to try himself somewhere with his friend. What's he called? Bellingham. All right. He wants to go and live in a different culture. How can I? I live in Spain. Not fucking stupid, is he? Do you know what I mean? So, but I understand. I know some Scousers that are like, he's a fucking rat bastard. You know what I mean? I'm not Scouse. I'm not from Liverpool. I couldn't care less what he does. But I am interested. I am interested in how it works out for him. Because I always thought it was the wrong move for him. That's all. What's wrong with that? Anyway, what do you think? And another thing, going into the game, I was like, I wonder how the reception will be. Well, I think there was more people booing than wasn't booing, personally. And someone in the comment section had said that. They were like, yeah, I was at the game, and it was certainly more people. But anyway, I'll leave it with you. I just want to give you a rough idea of what the press are saying out here, and a couple of articles there. That's it. It's a game of football. Why do people get so upset? Why are they so wet-wiped about it? Do you know what I mean? Oh, you're booed him. They're one of the best things in football for me. You might not agree with me, but for me, the best things in football are all the things that these fucking journalists don't want. You know what I mean? Like, I like it when players start scrapping on pitch. Because you didn't stand out. You're like, fucking what? You know what I mean? Like, you want that, don't you? You want the handbags. You want it to spill over. Them crunching tackles. I'll never forget, right, being sat down in Lower Centenary, right? And I can't remember who it was, but it was either a young Liverpool player or a very weak. What I mean by weak is it's small-framed. Sorry if he's small-framed. But I mean, compared to a big man, you're going to be a bit weaker, right? It's just, is that not... Oh my God, what have I created here? Right? What I mean was it was someone with a small frame, either young or not as big as some big people, right? And they got took out by a Manchester United player. I can't remember who it was, and it was right in front of me. So I imagine it was a right back or a right-sided player, because that's where I was at the time. And Liverpool were defending, so the cop was on my left, right? And the tackle was unacceptable by this Manchester United player. It was too much, right? It was a bad tackle, like, oh, fucking hell, you rotten, cruel cunt, like that, right? As soon as the referee blew the whistle, right, to restart the game, Reza Ruddock, right, came over from the centre-back position right to that player that did it. Can't remember who it was. It's fucking years ago. And literally double fucking footed him into the fucking stand. Like, smashed him to smithereens. Razor was stood there, right? And he must have been on the same wavelength as me and everyone else, like, fuck me, that's out of order. In other words, Razor was like, you fucking do that tackle on me. And the minute the referee went, that Razor just went, boom, straight for it, bang, straight into fucking stand. I like all that, mate. I like it when there's fisticuffs. I like the booze, revenge and all that. Do you know what I mean? I don't... Welcome back. Thank you so much for everything. We wish you so well. So well. We really do. Fuck off! No, we don't. We really don't. What do you reckon? Eh? And then I've got that guy on here in my comment section the other day. Oh, so I'm a wet wipe if I don't agree with you. No, you didn't fucking listen, did you, numpty? I noticed you didn't come back to me in the comment section when I pointed out you were a div. Nobody has to agree with me. I ain't even saying what you should like him or dis-fucking like him. Anyway, got booed. Now I'm glad. I'm glad people speak up. Even if it's not the right thing to do, at least people have got the right to do what they fuck. They pay the money, right? They support the club. They can support the club how they see fit. You know, most of the time, Liverpool fans welcome back former Liverpool players, right? I can't think of many players that have not been welcomed back. Only people like El Hadji Diouf, for example, would get slaughtered. You know what I mean? And the best they've got in the fucking stupid British press is, oh, Steven Gerrard once nearly left. But he didn't fucking leave though, did he? Because he came to sense it and it was different. He felt like he wasn't loved at the time. All right, maybe that's a bit fucking, you know, I didn't feel loved. Maybe, who cares? But he didn't go, did he? Do you know what I mean? Nah, fuck that. If you, listen, right? I'm an out-of-towner, so I'm going to think differently always. You can't compare, right? So maybe if that was a player that was played for my hometown, and you know, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? But there's my view is like, look, I understand completely. He wants to go and test himself in another country. How many people can say they played for Liverpool and Real Madrid? I get it. But I think it was the way it was conducted, his exit. That's what I think. I think if he'd have come out and said, look, I love this club, but I really want to go and test myself somewhere else. And Liverpool got some decent money for him. I think people would have been, all right, lad, yeah, fair dues. Don't quite understand if they were one of them people, but, you know, fair dues, all right? But to grind out a contract, give it all that badge kissing and make fucking with people's heads, making, like, people were going, oh, he must be staying. He's giving it this to the press. What are you talking about? All that bullshit. Nah, fuck him. I've changed my mind since I started this video. I hope it fucking goes tits up and goes all wrong. There you go. Traitor Trent, my ass. Right, I'm off now. If you enjoyed this video, please thumbs up the video. If you're a wet wipe because you're offended by anything in this video, thumbs it down. Go on, thumbs it down. The rest of you will thumbs it up, I know you will. Drop me a comment, guys. I'd like to know what you think. There's a love out of the video. If you want to support my channel, it's like, you know, supporting me. You know what I'm saying? Without the support of you guys, I can't do these videos. It's the fucking truth. And if you follow my morning briefings and that shit, you'll understand why, all right? So the super thanks is a big deal, all right, as is the channel membership. Now, in the video description, there's a link to Revolut. That's my beer kitty for Saturday. So maybe I won't be able to pay the bills, but at least I can get pissed on a Saturday and worry about it later. All right, guys, be good. I'll be back in a minute. I've got loads to talk about. All right.